Hello, everybody. You know me, I'm Mr. Lucky, and this is our show, Following the Signs. And I'm here today again with my two fabulous co-hosts, Mrs. Benita Armistead and also Mrs. Arnessa Hopkins. I'll never forget that, Arnessa Hopkins. All right, so yeah, this is the Following the Signs show. And you know, on my way here, I was looking at some billboards, and all these billboards kept saying, it's the same thing. You know what I do. So I'm welcoming everyone now to come in to join me on Following the Signs. And I'm going to say what the billboard says. You know what we do. Okay? I'm not Tim Misty, but you know what we do. Okay, what we do is we're going to give you information. We're going to bring you up to date on some current things and around the neighborhood, things that you should know and can help you, proceed every day in everyday life. So I'm again with Miss Benita Armistead.
It's Armstead. Why you always say Armistead?
I don't, because it's an armor.
It's not.
It's not an armor?
No.
Okay.
Just arm.
Just arm. Oh, Armstead. Yes. All right. And Ms. Hopkins. So today, we want to enlighten everyone to the uses of, not just the uses, the proper uses of sage. Everybody wants to know about sage. People all want to know, what is it for? What does it do? So I'm going to take it right to my hosts, guests,
And how do you use it?
Yeah, so what is the recommended need for you? Okay, so there's a lot of different sages. There's a sage incense, which I have here as a demonstration for you. This is a white sage incense, okay? And whatever religion you are, incense is always good to burn for the smell. So let's not demonize sage. That's one of the things we need to point out. You know what I mean by that?
Sure, I do. Yeah, by demonizing, not to. It's good for you to have around the house and stuff like that, or to burn, because you don't want negativity in your house, for one thing.
So you're saying that sage gets rid of people's negative energies?
Just in the house, in your spirit and everything, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sure does.
Okay, all right. So that's one of the needs then, just to get rid of negative energy. Mm-hmm. But I don't want. So let's move on with that then. Let's proceed that. So now you have an incense that any nationality or any religion can use, and then you have a smudge, which the smudge is more gifted to indigenous people or natural people, because they'll use this smudge stick to clear the negative energy that's in their homes.
It's a great big smudge stick.
So you see here, that would be a difference that people would have to remember, that there's two types of sage use: one for incense and one for removing negativity, which is a Native American event, a Native American or just a Native event, a Native people event. So that's the category for those things. And so there's something that you can add to this, because I'm barking up the tree here, but I'm trying to make sure.
It can also be used for anxiety, if you're having issues with anxiety, and it can be used to help with your mood also. If you're feeling depressed and you need to uplift your spirits.
Okay, so now you're saying that I can use either a sage smudge stick or I could use a sage incense. And not only would that purify the air, but it also will you're saying that it will bring more positive energy to me? It will give me an energy boost?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Give me a for instance.
If you're at home and you're feeling depressed, you can burn that, have your feather.
Why you like, what are you going? I thought you were about to fly out of here. You did that. You did the butterfly.
Have your feather as you're going throughout your house, and it can help uplift your spirit.
That's a beautiful thing. Our community needs our spirits uplifted. Do you think so?
Yes.
I do too.
We do.
I do too. So what she talked about was the feather. So right here I have a demonstration of an eagle feather that would be used when you use sage. Now, I would say more than half of the African American people in this country are Native American. Mm. So as this being a Native American event, I'm not sure if everyone can keep up with me on this one, but Grandma used to always burn sage. She kept it burning. Every time we had a family function, before the function even started, she would start one of these smudge sticks up like this, and she would light it. It could be a birthday, it could be a funeral, any family gathering. She would always get the sage stick and she would burn it. She would light it, and then she would pass. Well, actually, I'm going to show you. I'm going to demonstrate the way to use. Wait a minute. I'm going to demonstrate how to use sage for the first. Here's the first. This is.
Okay.
Oh, but wait a minute. Before we even get started, I want to make sure that we have our announcements. So it's time for one announcement that I really need to get out. And as we know, Xavier always comes in and lets. Look how shiny she is
Oh,
today.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, go girl.
Okay,
yes.
so we have an announcement. So the weather's really improving, and so it's time to improve the condition of your car. So get yourself in tune. Get your car tuned up today at Touch Above Auto. It's located at 2530 Hamilton Avenue, and that's in Cleveland. The phone number is 862-1841. Ask for Dan. And get the friendly service that you so desperately need when you want to get your car updated and upgraded. Thank you for that. So we're going to burn sage for say aromatics. What is that? Aromatic. Am I saying it right?
Aromatic, yeah.
Aromatic. Yeah. The aroma of it.
Yeah.
The aroma of it. That's true. So I'm gonna see if I can find a reason that people should burn sage in their home. So you girls got to agree with me on some of these reasons. Let me see. So here's a symptom that could be happening in your house that would make you want to burn sage. One of them could be an uneasy nervousness in the house.
Yes, that could be taking place.
Okay.
Argument.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want nobody coming to your house arguing and stuff like that and bring bad vibes to your house.
Raising hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what that means.
Sneaking in the back room.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's one of the
good
reasons
stuff.
why we would want to think about just address the subject of sage. Another would be difficulty with social functioning. You ever notice if you ever had people over you guys' house, and the atmosphere is thick, you can cut it with a knife. But then you need something to kind of break that staleness. You know, a smudge safe like this would be perfect
It's
to
a
do.
thick baby too, I'd say.
And our
big.
ancestors
I've
have
seen one that big.
Yeah, this one is a lot of people like to grab this. This is the big one. Okay. So yeah. And it lasts a pretty long time too.
Yeah, that's straight
And like
boy
I said,
status.
when you use it, you will also want to bring your eagle feather out, because what you want to do is you want to put this into the atmosphere. And when you do it with the feather of above, feathers represent wisdom, courage, and strength. And these are the things that we need in our community, things that we need in our home. So we'll take this eagle feather, and while we're doing this ritual that our Native American ancestors, that grandma did, you know what I'm talking about, grandma, she would also say what she wanted. She would want the brother to come home, her son to get home from the military, come home safe. She would want her husband not to feel so restless when he comes in and want to be mean. So this is what this is for. So there's another.
That knowledge, that was understanding because I didn't know that.
That's why I'm here.
I appreciate you.
Big Kahuna.
Go ahead, Big Kahuna.
What's that? The snap heard around the world.
Yes.
Okay.
So you
So
hear
now
me?
here's another one. Let's stop off. I'm not going to read all of these, but difficulty relaxing. So you're in the home, and you smelling all these different memories in your home. Because one of the things sage does is it cuts through the atmosphere and it gives you a boost in mood. It gives you an opportunity to change that mood, and when you change that mood, you'll want to relax because you've changed from a difficult mood to a more comfortable mood. Does that ever happen to you, Anessa? Come on now, you look like you're going to sleep on me, man. You can't go to sleep on me in here. Wait a minute, I got some sage for that too. Here.
Sprays. So wipe your hands.
Yeah, here you
with
go.
that.
Yeah, it's
So wipe
a
your hands
sage
with that.
spray.
Right.
Okay, so
Now,
we can
that
use
much I
sage.
know you're supposed to do this with that.
Right.
With the spray.
Right.
Mhm,
That's the
yes.
spray. You can use
Yes.
it, you rub it around in your
Really?
hands.
Yes.
Yeah, rub it in your
Yes.
hands. You want to try some?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know.
That's something new that I learned. 'Cause
Yeah.
usually when I get that kind of spray, I just spray it into the air.
No, you're supposed to rub
Okay.
your hands,
No, this
too.
is not just spray on the air. This can spray in your car. This can spray on your clothes. You see on your children's clothes on the way to school. You have to understand what sage is going to do is it's going to change the mindset of people who smell it. Some people are going to have one thing on their mind, and the moment they come around, say, sage, their mind self shifts. And that thought that they may have had that may not have been a very positive thought, it changes. So here's another one, misunderstanding music. What sage can do for that. Let's give you for instance, and I need you to comment on this because I'm trying to get you there. You're listening, you're in a mood where you're listening to Nat King Cole. You burn sage. It increases your mood. It makes your mood, it pumps up your energy. So now instead of listening to Nat King Cole because you're upset because your man ain't treating you right, what Sage just did was change your mood. It gave you a mood boost. So now instead of that, you're listening to more like Aretha Franklin. Now you just want some respect.
Okay.
So you see what I mean?
On the ow stuff. Okay. Yes, I get that.
So you moving in the right direction here, and that's what I'm trying to help you guys do.
Thank you.
Okay, so now,
But it can, well, I'll interject. Like, if you're at home and you're trying to relax, you can burn your sage. If you're feeling uneasy or you're unfocused and you want to relax your mind, burning the sage can help relax your mind.
Thank you. And I know I can tell you, for instance, when I was in college, I'll make this real quick. I was in college and things just wasn't going right for me in my classes. And I wanted to get into the room and I laid down. And I just wanted to lay down and try to see if I could get my mind somewhere. I burned some sage when I came in. And I couldn't believe the boost, the pump, the energy that my brain got. Where now all of a sudden I wanted to study. I fell into the mood of wanting to study. So since one of the things Sage does is it gets rid of the negative ions, because you know there's ions, right? Everywhere.
Yes.
So there's a lot of negative ions in the atmosphere. And what Sage does is it cuts through the negative ions and it neutralizes the positive ions. So once you get rid of that negative ion and all you're stuck left with is the positive ions, then you move in a more positive direction. Okay? So that's what we want to do. So let me cut into this right here, because see what we're doing now, you know, there's many uses for lavender, and it's well known. So following the signs, what we're doing this spring and summer, is we will use fresh grown lavender, and we will produce it, and these products will be. I just read this once. Now I can't read it. So I'm going to get back to it later. But what we want to do is stop at Lucky's Charms and Supplies to purchase our raffle tickets to help support our lavender project. These tickets are $1 each, and the drawing will be April 30th. First prize, $50. Give your support to a worthy cause. Just come in and ask to help following the signs with our lavender projects. I'm going to get back about this lavender
something
project.
about the lavender, where you're going to put it at and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, we're working on that. Matter of fact, we had a little meeting last night with the board, and what we talked about was very important. Okay. We brought up a lot of interesting ideas and projects going forward. But what we're going to do is we're going to produce this lavender. We're going to make a product, and that product, we will be dispersing it into the neighborhood. And what it will do is to cut some of the anxieties in our community overall. And it will give us a reachable. It will make it reachable and worthy for us to communicate with our friends.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's a real string. It's a project we need all the help that we can get for this project, but it's going to happen. So here we go. So now let me say, there's certain types of lavender, and I need y'all to really help me with this, because this is like, and people want to know. So we talked about the lavender spray. We talked about the lavender incense. We also know this is a lavender smudge stick. All right, so now I'm going to move one step further and let you know that we do also talk about lavender. Sage.
I was just going to say, wow.
White sage.
White sage. Sage.
But you led to that lavender. Right. We supposed to be talking about
sage oil, okay? And that works for everything too. So anyway, okay, so let's talk about the different types of sage.
Can I talk about something that sage is helpful for you to consume?
Yes.
You can consume sage in teas, but you can't drink a lot of it. You can only consume from 3 to 6 cups per day.
Okay.
Because it's toxic to your brain. But anyway, it helps you with it has vitamin K, B6, and it's for bone thinning, and it has calcium, protein, and also it's for strep throat, stuff like that, for your throat, mouth. It eases menopause and skin symptoms such as kidney cancer, colon, and memory health. There's, like you said, memory health. It's very good for that.
Yeah.
Brain health.
Oh, those things sound good.
Heart disease. It's a bunch of stuff.
So we need this. We need this education. Maybe we can talk about this again next week, because this just seems like there's a lot more information to.
Yeah, you can put it also in your food, like roasted in soups and stuff like that, tomatoes and stuff like that. It's awesome for that. Yeah, because everybody eats soup, you know.
Okay, so there's basically I'm going to talk about 5 types of sage. One is black sage, okay, and it's a mugwort. It's a black sage. Then there's cedar sage. There's lavender sage. there's blue sage. Does anyone have any experience with any one of these sages?
Garden sage too. It's such this thing as garden sage too.
Speak up. I can't.
With the black sage, I use that at times to help relax me and to help me to go to sleep.
Okay. That's
How do you use it?
I burn it, and then the fire go out. I smudge it, and I allow the smoke to just rise up.
In the aroma of the air. Okay, that's great. I've never seen black sage before.
all right. So the most popular sage for people out here is white sage, California white sage, the most popular sage. So it's popular because it's in ready, abundant use. Maybe it's a little overabundant. I think now they're over processing it, and I may not have the same strength. So just to let you know, give you a heads up, white sage is good, but sometimes it's not as strong as it should be. That being the case, you want to move over to blue sage. Blue sage is going to be a little stronger. It's not cut, and it's good for municipal uses, which is
Court.
not just court, but for health.
Oh, okay.
Health-wise.
Okay.
So what it will do is it can bring you to a point of releasing these feelings that you have inside that's keeping your body from relaxing and getting the
called
rest
anxieties, you mean?
necessary. Right. The
Gotcha.
anxieties and all the
Okay.
things that you need to let loose in order for your body to heal. It cannot heal tight and strapped up. You got to get the sage. We need
Okay.
it.
You said blue sage for that, right?
Blue sage, yes.
That's interesting too. Never knew that.
Okay, so I'm down here to the point where I have to mention the fact that we are broadcasting live from the wonderful, beautiful Blot Podcast Network.
IBBLLT.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, let's say it at the same time. Ready? We're gonna say
Hi.
Blot. One,
Blot.
2, 3.
Blot.
There you
BBLOT.
go. Yeah.
T.
So it's a magnificent organization, and in this building, what they do is they build business leaders today for tomorrow, and that's really where our youth can find the happiness and the joy that they need to be to grow to be happy people. They can find it here at Blot. What they will do is a miracle. They will
Go
teach
Blot.
you the things that you need to know to be a professional and a professional person. So I have a question. What do you think about? Do you think burning sage is healthy?
I would think so. If it's healthy enough for you to drink, then I think it should be healthy enough to burn or get that aroma around, get that negativity out.
Right. So if it's healthy enough to burn, let me ask you this question: why y'all think that people don't burn sage every day on the regular?
Well, I just said something about the brain stuff. So
It's just not something that they do. So
That's something that we have done in the past. I think our community could use a couple more rituals. Just before you have a birthday
yeah.
party, it would be nice to burn a little sage, even if it's in the form of incense or in a smudge. Because what you want to do is to use the principles of knocking down those negative ions.
or just before somebody come to your house, period, especially with a party, correct?
Before that party or before after the, what is it called when after you have a funeral, you have the
Repast.
Repast. You want to burn sage at the repast. Because if anybody has any type of feelings, they need to get those out. And sage is a perfect time to do it. At birthdays, we should burn sage.
Okay.
To do it in a ritualistic way. And I say that because what we're passing down is a tradition.
Great.
And we've lost a lot of our traditions as black people as far as Africa is concerned. But to embrace at least some of the traditions of our Native American ancestry wouldn't be a bad thing to do right now, especially at a time when we see so many things happening. Businesses
True.
are failing, banks are closing,
Yes.
and we need to be brought together and they're brought together closer. So let me ask you
And
this.
show more knowledge of
Do you
this.
think that if you pull sage out, if you burn sage at say a party, people will call a woman a witch for doing that? Do you
Probably
think that she
so.
would be called
Yeah,
a witch?
Of course.
Have
Like,
you ever
why
been
she
called
got
a
that
witch?
up here?
Leave your
Well, who you
house.
think? They would
leave.
leave. Some
They
of them
would
will
leave?
Yep,
Yes.
some would leave.
Wait a minute. Oh, let me slow this down.
got some people
I need
like,
to
oh,
get this
yeah.
straight. So you
Jesus,
telling me
something on her.
that if I'm having a party and I say, okay, honey, go ahead and get the sage, and she burned that sage.
They're gonna say, "What you need that for?" That's what I
What's
would
wrong with
think.
you?
Right,
What you
right.
doing? What you
There you go.
doing? They will leave your house.
Yes.
And you might look up and there will be no one there.
No,
And all
They
you
will-
want-
you don't have to worry about them coming back if they leave though.
okay. Well, look, I'm gonna just catch you. Are they gonna give you a broom so you can follow them?
Oh, oh no.
Oh no, well, witches do fly on brooms, but I don't know.
I keep
don't
mine
know
on the
if they-
porch. Let me be quiet.
So before you burn sage at your house, remove all the brooms. Get them out of the house. We don't want to play that broom thing.
Hey.
Right? So that's one of the things about it. Now a man would be the same way. Because if I was to pull out sage and there was a lot of people there, they say, "Oh Lord, he's a voodoo," you know.
Right, there you go.
And it's so a shame that we can't adopt traditions and rituals of our own. That we
Instead
have
of
to,
asking why.
yeah, it's okay to adopt the ritual of blessing our food before we eat. Now that's a ritual. And it's also given to us in the form of biblical scripture. But if that's all there is to life, then we're missing out on opportunities to really expand ourselves.
Exactly.
And to use a mechanism for achievement in our homes. Just think, that 1-year-old boy, every time he has a party, you burn sage. Now he's 10 years old. He says, "Mommy, we can't start the party till you do the sage. Now you got to burn that sage, Mama." And look what you
It's a
started. So
tradition.
now, yeah.
Straight
So now
tradition.
we go back to our Native American ancestry that's in us, all of us. Well, I mean, not just black people, but all people should have that by now. But we need to rekindle the fire that comes with strength, courage, and a wisdom, and that comes from the burning of sage. So I think it's very important. So do you think our ancestors would mind if we did something like that?
What do you mean?
Well, they're
What
not
do you mean?
alive.
Hold
but if
on.
they were alive.
Hey, you know,
They have passed away. What do you mean?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, hey, whatever. Okay.
some might though. They do have spirits, so yeah.
So let's talk about this. This is
Mike.
something I really want to talk about. So here's where we are. We talked about container gardens, which are victory gardens, which gardens that we grow right on our porch.
Correct.
So I just want to know, why is it that we don't grow our own sage? Why is it that we have to feel like we need to? See, our ancestors grew their own sage, or they knew where a sage patch was, and they would just go cut it down, and then they would put it together and blend it. They blend sage. They could blend lavender with cedar or blend white sage with black sage. But the whole point was that they would be able to go out and grow their own sage. So do you think that this spring would be a good thing? Maybe Following the Signs can encourage more people to grow sage in their homes?
That would be great. That would be
Yeah, that would be
wonderful.
good.
You know
Sure.
that the aroma of sage, fresh
Right out
sage
there.
grown in your house, you can smell it when you come into the door.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to always burn sage. If you just had a container garden and just grew some, I'm not saying that it's a beautiful plant and it's not going to bring much notoriety, but the smell, the accent, as long as with that and a little lavender, you'll be surprised how it would change a lot of the attitudes and things that's going on in your home. So help me out here. Wait a minute, before we go any further.
Continue.
I don't know. I need something. I need somebody to tell me something real interesting, guys. I see you got notes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there anything in your notes that you haven't told us? Because we got people that need to hear what we're saying here today.
No, well, I have that. Well, no, we covered just about everything.
Okay, let's go over it again.
Go over it again. Okay, there's different types of sage: white, black, blue. Black is also called mugwort.
Yeah.
Blue, lavender, cedar. It has a fresh and woodsy aroma.
That's
The
true.
cedar one, and it's used for protection and wisdom.
Now, I'm glad you said that because you brought up something very interesting. So my question to both of you right now, and I know we can do this, is: do you think burning sage is a concern for people because they feel that if they burn sage, they're going to lose their connection to God?
I wouldn't think so.
Huh?
I don't think we're hurt.
Well, the Bible doesn't mention burning sage,
True.
and it doesn't mention burning sage for removing negative ions.
Well, I wouldn't think it's bad because it's like you said, as far as making a ritual and have your children or family members to do it. If your family member did, I think we could do it as well, and it would help us.
Okay, so you don't see
relax.
where it is to be a deep concern with your feeling that you leaving out something that God did, that you're losing a connection with the Almighty.
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's go one step further then. So since the Bible doesn't really mention anything so much about sage, do you think it would be instrumental to use sage after church?
Oh.
That you can make a ritual out of every after church when you come home to relax.
Yeah,
and to get
if you
into
go
your
home,
scripture.
not out.
No,
not
when you
outside
get home.
Church, yes.
So
at
we got
home.
5 minutes. And so in this 5 minutes, our Nessa, which is a college graduate, she does have a master's degree and she lives in a gated community.
I don't want to get
You always popping it up. Yeah,
Okay, so she's going to read us a poem. And she wrote this poem herself. And I just thought it was the loveliest thing. So be sure you say it loud on this. Speak
Okay.
directly into the microphone, baby. Give it to
Okay.
them.
Women. As a woman, we all come in different shapes and sizes. Some of us are mothers, some of us are wives, but we are all daughters. We are all striving to be better than the day before. As a woman, sometimes we need to be alone. Why are we so competitive with each other? Jealous and envious of each other. If the next woman is doing better than you, why can't you be happy for her? A simple round of applause will do. As a woman, we conquer so many obstacles daily just to reach new heights personally and professionally. Can we be shown love?
That was very nice.
That was very nice.
Thank you.
And if anyone is concerned, and if anyone is curious about burning sage, you don't burn it when you feel that you want to burn it. But if you don't do it that way, do it at least once a week. That would be great.
And don't forget, you cannot you can drink sage and stuff like that to put in your food, like they would do, like dressing and stuff like that. But you can't consume a lot of it. No more than 3 to 6 teaspoons full.
3 to 6 days. So I
You can
like
drink
this.
it.
So you don't drink a lot of sage. We don't know if we see you shriveled up, that you drunk too.
Brain tight.
Yeah, your brain would be tight. So I'd like to thank Blot again for giving us the opportunity to express some of the knowledge that we have and like following the signs. This is what the name of this is, and you know what we do. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good one, everyone.
Have a good night.
Yeah, we really had a great time. Thank you so much, and come back again. We'll see you next week.
Amen.
Amen.